What's up, guys? Moses here, and I got a quick update for you. Remember the Flame Blast character I made just one video ago? So instead of, well, this is the level 21 Valve Flame Blast with some quality. So instead of Valve Flame Blast, what I decided to go with is Incinerate. Volatile did, right? The cast while channeling. Everything is the same except two changes. One, Incinerate went to, to replace Flame Blast. The reason being is that when you're channeling Flame Blast, what will happen is you will run out of mana, right? And then when you release the Flame Blast, you will hit monsters and explode and kill them. So you don't have anything to leech from. You'll only be able to leech when you're dropping an Orb of Storms, or when your volatile dead balls will then hit monsters that are already cursed with initial hit from Flame Blast or from other hits, because we get Warlord's Mark on hit and then we leech. So that's the only way you can actually leech. So in a lot of situations it'll be kind of like not gonna feel so smooth because Flame Blast, well, it requires you to, have the mana to be able to sustain the channel, and it's not going to be possible because you're not hitting as you're channeling. So I swapped to Incinerate, and not only that, because Incinerate doesn't really feel like it needs high investment in faster casting, in cast speed, I decided to drop the cast speed and instead put area effect for mapping and concentrate effect for single target, and thus creating probably my smoothest build ever. It feels absolutely amazing. Incinerate immediately hits, right? When you channel it against monsters, it immediately hits, dealing damage, and then just like Flame Blast, it will go up with stages. The stages will increase the area of effect and the damage per stage, and will then release a big wave of fire upon releasing the channeling. And then while you're channeling, Volatile Dead will then, burst off of dead corpses lying around or from the totem. The build otherwise works exactly the same. So yeah, instead of faster casting, increased area of effect, the links are the same links: Volatile Dead, area of effect, combustion, immolate. Nothing is really changed. The one other thing that did change is the helmet. Instead of the Flame Blast helmet chant that I had, I believe here, Flame Blast, we basically have the exact same helmet, except for Incinerate. Incinerate, you can take, the increased area of effect, or the increased damage for each stage, or just straight up 40% increased damage. So you got three choices that you can choose from. I went with increased damage for each stage because, I don't know, it feels like it would do more damage for stages or up. It will be even to the 40%, so I went with that. The helm was not much, I don't know, maybe 50-60 chaos. Crafting this, however, took quite a few attempts until I got the hybrid life roll, and then the nearby negative fire res, multi-modded, annulled, all that kind of stuff. Multi-modded, and yeah, we did lose some life, but the helmet chant is there instead of Flame Blast. Outside of that, the character is exactly the same. Let's just run into a map so you guys can see how awesome Incinerate is. It is actually surprisingly good. Yeah, seems good. 90 something quantity. It's surprisingly good. Like, I never tried Incinerate before. Oh, breach. I never tried Incinerate before. It's my first time, and it actually feels amazing. I really also believe that, for a cast while channeling spell, you can even maybe make like maybe a budget league starter with just like a 4-link, or soon to be 5-link or something like that. But maybe we can talk about that in a separate video. Maybe I'll give it a shot and try and see how a Soul Self-Found character starts out. Maybe, if I get the time. The new league starts in like, what is it, 12 days? We'll see if we can find time, but yeah, it's probably going to be Yeah, Trapper, if unless you know something major changes. So I mean, the new skill is actually very nice to look at, and it just feels so smooth. Instantly hits. You never really run out of mana because you're constantly like channeling and constantly hitting monsters, so you're constantly leeching, and that's where Flame Blast kind of fell off, and that's what made me change from Flame Blast. Although it did feel great, and the setup was virtually the same, but just the fact that you need, you know, to sustain your mana when you're channeling made kind of a big difference. You know, you just can't channel when you're out of mana. So yeah, another variant is of this build, you can remove whatever Watcher's Eye you have for Anger. Anger is being buffed next league, so you know it's going to be more valuable in terms of like added fire damage. They're going to put it into par with Wrath, right? The same thing that Wrath does for oh, another breach. Same thing that Wrath does for spells. Just going to buff up the damage numbers because right now it reserves 50% and really does kind of feel underwhelming. You know, Herald does basically almost as much, if not more, damage than than a 50% reservation aura. So yeah, they will buff it. They said so in the development manifesto, and yeah, so until they do, or even without it, because really the build doesn't feel like it needs more damage. At least my current setup just feels pretty insane. The gear is ridiculous, and the setup just feels so smooth, so good. Also, by the way, you can always change to an Adrenaline because honestly, you don't really need Wise Oak unless you're doing a minus max map. So another thing you could do is just remove Anger and unspec a couple of points, and you know, the Watcher's Eye, and just get into Mind Over Matter if you're feeling like you know, if you're feeling like you're having some survivability issues. It's something you could totally and absolutely do. Now let's get randomly one-shotted to Syndicate. Maybe. Oh, see, it's just I wasn't so far off. Yeah, randomly one-shots almost got me. But I mean, Syndicate, man, it happens all the time. That was pretty close. Would have been kind of a bummer. But yeah, that's basically the video update. You know what? Maybe there's a leech here. Would be nice to just destroy a leech. If it does happen, let's follow this abyss. But yeah, I mean, Volatile Dead just deals so much damage, and just constantly pop off the corpses. You don't even need the totems. It's basically just for single target. And that's another thing. I would use a lot more totems with Flame Blast because I needed something to start off, you know, the chain of like Mana Leech, just something to have that's already hitting, cursing the monster, so I can so I can get Mana Leech. But with Incinerate, when you immediately hit, you don't really need it. And this is not a leech. What do we have?
I really do.
Guff.
Do it.
And Elrion. Alright. Oh, we got some Herald of Obelisks. They're gone. And another breach before the boss. You guys gonna see. There is 41% more monster life, so maybe he's not going to get like instantly one-shotted, but I mean, damage is kind of ridiculous for this build. Oh, this is only, I mean, Esh. There was Esh. It's kind of funny seeing these, you know, these bosses that kind of like insta-die. Like, oh, there's Esh. There used to be, oh man, this is Esh. I'm going to need to fight him now. But, you know, so much power creep and builds do so much damage these days. It's just basically one-shot. This is a tier 16. This is a tier 16 map, right? I'm running my Elder tier 16 Jungle Valley. So it's not just, you know, a tier 5 Jungle Valley. This is a tier 16, you know, wannabe boss. So it's yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, the build feels amazing. I'm sure there's a way to run like a budget version of this build. And see you later. I didn't even have my Val Righteous Fire. So yeah, the damage is pretty insane. Anything else I wanted to say about it? No. This would be it, and this is the build. Oh, Uber Elder just spawned. I'm almost tempted to kill Minotaur, just for you to see the amazing single target, but I'm not gonna do that. You guys feel free to watch the stream. I'm gonna be streaming this build in the next few days, and there's actually some clips of me killing Hydra that are extremely destructive, instant one-shot. Maybe I'll link it in the description below for you guys to check out with this Incinerate, Volatile Dead, Elementalist, Raider, Scion. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.